Let's talk about imposter syndrome. My name is Victoria Dalach, I'm your tech mentor. Today I would like to talk about imposter syndrome from my experience. Trust me, as a woman in tech, I've experienced it not once, not twice. To be honest, I don't have a number. I've been working tech for almost a decade. It is important for more junior people to understand and to listen and to hear that not only juniors experience that problem, that phenomena, that syndrome. I don't know how you whatever you like to call it. Before I jump right in, I want to stop and make a disclaimer, because I'm a true YouTuber now. Disclaimer: it is completely okay to feel challenged at work. I feel challenged at work and it's completely fine. It helps me grow. But what I want to share with you is imposter syndrome that attacks your core when you think that you don't belong, that you are not enough, that you should not be in this place. It's a feeling. It's not like being challenged and being like, oh, I need to put up more, I need to focus more on that. No, it's a feeling that attacks your self-esteem when you think that you just don't deserve to be where you are. So it's not something we want to feel. It's not something that we should cherish or we should be proud about. No, it's a feeling that comes from a place that pulls us into shame and into self-doubt. And if we don't take care of that, it can bring us really deep down into a place that is not good. Okay? I hope that we established that. So for those who don't know, imposter syndrome is this feeling of self-doubt that all of your accomplishments are actually unfair and you should be considered a fraud. Also, it very often comes with this fear that you'll be discovered as a fraud. There are probably no women in tech conferences that don't have at least one talk regarding imposter syndrome because, well, apparently it's very relevant still. Often the speakers focus on this idea of fixed and growth mindset. Growth mindset was defined by a Stanford psychologist, Carol Dweck, and her colleagues as a belief that a person's capabilities and talents can be improved over time. Whatever you are right now, if you keep doing something, if you keep, running, playing, programming, whatever, you can improve over time. A contrary belief is a fixed mindset. And in the fixed mindset, you believe that some people were born with a big talent for music or a big talent for programming, and they're just geniuses. And you cannot be good at music or programming or whatever because, well, you don't have this talent. This is very helpful idea that can improve how you feel about yourself. Okay, so maybe right now, I don't know how to code well, but over time, if I practice and I get feedback, then I will improve. I will get better. I will be excellent. This is very helpful if you have imposter syndrome, because when it attacks, it tells you, oh, look at this guy. He's been programming for 12 years already, and he started when he was 12. So, look at you. When you were 12, you were reading books about Harry Potter. When you have this kind of thought, you can say to your imposter syndrome, look, stop here. I would rather have growth mindset and improve over time, because the truth is that you will improve over time if you just keep showing up. this growth mindset, fixed mindset, super helpful. However, there has been a huge revelation in February 2021. This article from Harvard Business Review by Ruchika Tulsian and Jodianne Buray, Stop Telling Women They Have Imposter Syndrome. It's an excellent article. I will link it down below because it focuses on this idea that was clearly missed in the 70s when the imposter syndrome was defined. So the environment. Imposter syndrome, I think it was popularized by Sheryl Sandberg in her book Lean In. I definitely learned about it from her. In my opinion, it started this epidemic of imposter syndrome articles and videos and presentations. And look at me now, so many years later, I'm making a video about imposter syndrome. The problem I have with it, and then this article is a great explanation, is that it puts imposter syndrome, the idea, puts so much pressure on me as an individual. I am responsible for having imposter syndrome. This is my flaw, you know. I have some personal problem because I think that I don't belong, you know. Whereas this article is brilliant because it shows that, well, maybe imposter syndrome is not a personal problem, but it's like organizational problem. So you are not the only one to blame for your imposter syndrome. Maybe you are in an environment, in a team that actually makes you feel this way. Because maybe your colleagues are biased, maybe your manager is not supportive. Then, well, you cannot grow, you cannot feel confident in the environment that is biased, against you. Is that clear? When I read this article, like, so many things become clear to me. Because, you know, I've been working for a company, I work now for over 4 years, and in the same company I experienced imposter syndrome, and I didn't. And even in the same team I could feel like welcomed, and I could feel great. And in different circumstances I felt like I don't have a place in this team. Like, I don't have a place with this team, you know? Think about it, that maybe the problem is not in you. Maybe it's not about you being not enough outspoken, or not enough ambitious, or shy, or whatever. Maybe the problem is that your actual environment, your team, your manager, your organization sets you up for feeling this way. Maybe you are not the only one person to be responsible for how you feel. Let's say you are in this situation, and trust me, I feel you. I've been in this place so many times. How can you help yourself? There won't be any progress without vulnerability. And I'm sorry for that. But vulnerability is the key here. As Brené Brown says it, there is no courage without vulnerability. I will read you this very good quote. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's the ability to show up and be seen. It's the ability to be brave when you cannot control the outcome. It's going to be very tough to change the systems, because at the heart of these systems is perfectionism, fear, and the shame of making mistake. You can pause here and, you know, let it sink in. When I experience imposter syndrome, I get to the point when I know that I have to be vulnerable and I have to face it. These few steps that I will share with you now, I hope will help you to get out of this terrible situation. First, I think you need to accept the fact that maybe the tools that you've been using are not enough, especially if you feel stuck with your task, with your project, with whatever you are doing. Maybe the tools that you've been using are not enough. Maybe there are no options left that you know of. Communicate the problem. Maybe communicate it to your manager or during a retrospective. I don't know, like depending who you feel comfortable with. Depending what are you comfortable with, but you will be probably not comfortable at all. Maybe talk to your colleague that you like and you trust. Look, if you are an engineer, if you feel like stuck with your work or stuck with your, I don't know, task, just prepare anything. Like sometimes, I know that sometimes some tasks are so terrifying that we are procrastinating and we are terrified to start it. If you have strength, just create some kind of draft, some kind of draft, I mean pseudocode, diagram, like some kind of sketch, whatever, and go discuss it with a person in your team. Like, what do you think? How can we go from this to where we want to be? And they will tell you like hints how you can improve it, how you can maybe change it completely, and it will like free your mind a bit, and it will be like a new start, but a better start because you already know something. Again, another way to getting like out of this terrible mindset is pair program. If you are not feeling, I don't know, comfortable, maybe just go through your code. How can I say that? Like, I don't want you to be stuck alone. Be stuck with someone, you know? Like, have a problem and share it with someone. This is very important because the longer you stay alone in this, you feel isolated, you feel far away from people, you feel that they judge you, and imposter syndrome just tells you all this stuff. Be vulnerable, have the courage to talk to others. And another way to get unstuck or free yourself from this imposter syndrome is delegate the work. And I know that it sounds like running away, but it's not. Sometimes you just have to accept that this is not the work that you should focus on or you should do. Maybe you put so much energy into something, into a project, task, whatever, that you don't have it in yourself anymore, and you have to let go. I went through all of these steps over the course of my career, and it's sometimes difficult. It's always difficult, but it is helpful. Of course, not every imposter syndrome attack comes from being stuck with one task. And if you think that this is your case, I strongly suggest, you ask for feedback, and this can do magic. Asking people for feedback is so important, so powerful, because mostly there's nothing wrong with you. People share with you what they think, and wow, surprise, surprise, you are actually great. You are doing a good job. Maybe there's something to improve, but there's always something to improve. But you don't suck, you do belong. And when you get this feedback, read it, believe in it, save it for later, when you feel again that, oh, maybe you don't belong. I do have a hashtag mood booster where I put all of the good feedback I get from people, and you know, sometimes when I have a bad day, I go there, I read it, it's okay. I somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. It's a quote. If you know where this quote is from, let me know in the comments, because we will probably be friends. This video will be very long, but I think it's an important topic, and thank you for staying so long with me. The last thing I want to share, if you don't experience imposter syndrome, but you want to be an ally, praise in public, ask what's up, how is it going, care about people, notice others' work, be helpful, be supportive, be a kind human being. In this time, we would all use some more kindness. That's it from me. Tell me in the comments, what is your experience with imposter syndrome and what are your ways of helping yourself. Remember to share it. I see you next time. Bye!